the stars, driving down the boulevard at night. Playing Coldplay on repeat, watching people on the street as I go by. And it doesn't even matter to me where I go, I just feel I need to take a ride. Got my coffee cup to go, and I'm gonna hit the road tonight.
This is the road to Morgan's Lookout. I'll drop in sort of where I am. I'm not exactly sure at the moment. Just saw this from the road. It's an unusual rock formation, and noticed that there were stairs to the top. So I just sort of slowed down, and then yep, there was a sign saying Morgan's Lookout. I think it says Morgan's Stable. Billabong Creek. Oh, and look, this is on private land. A toilet facility. How nice is that? Right, let's go and have a look.
In a place I didn't know till now. In a different part of town, I see new colors as the sun goes down. No, it doesn't even matter to me where I go, just feel I need to take a ride. I don't know when I'll get back, keep on going and relax.
Billabong Creek. I've just come from Wabundry. Here you go, Mad Dan Morgan. Morgan's Lookout gets its name from one of the most bloodthirsty bushrangers of the 1800s. Dan Morgan. Ah, the Rock. That's where I'm heading.
Here I
Dan Morgan. Said to have used this ridge line as a vantage point to spot approaching authorities, with the cuttings in the rocks providing excellent shelter. Just like that cutting there. On 9th of June 1864, during a raid on Round Hill Station, he shot a young station hand who died 3 days later. 24th of June, he shot and killed Sergeant David McGinnity in Tumbarumba.
I'm not heading for the stars, driving down this boulevard tonight. Yeah.
This is the station at the Rock. What a great little town. Tomorrow the local footy team is in the Grand Final in, I think it's the Farah League or the Farah district of the AFL Riverina, and that in the distance is the Rock. So tomorrow I'm hoping to hike up there. So in the Rock, this is the King's Own Hotel, which is I think the only pub in town, but obviously it's not a pub anymore. So now the drinking spot is a local bowls club. And because the Rock footy team is in the Grand Final on Saturday, down the main street, which is the Avenue of Honour, on all the trees, it's got all the players and their numbers. What a great concept that is. Eh? Good support from the town for the footy team. Apparently this district had the highest per capita enlistment rate in the First World War in Australia. So objects like this really nice 3D steel engraving. Engraving. And in terms of war memorials, there's this horizontal stabiliser from an F-111 aircraft from the RAF. There's an anchor, I assume that's from a ship, a naval ship, and further up there is actually a tank, as you can see in the distance there. And all these trees. And apparently on Armistice Day, 1,000 townspeople walked up the rock or climbed the rock and planted an Australian flag at the top to celebrate the end of the war. And here's my setup at at the rock. The footy team will be doing their last training session before the grand final. Little creek crossing, and I'm heading up there. Thought I'd just grab this on the yellow-footed Antechinus. Because of the interesting thing down here, it breeds once a year, mating in late winter or spring, with copulation lasting after 12 hours. After this short, hectic breeding season, all the males die, leaving pregnant females and future young in an environment free from male competition. I know a few human women who think that would be a good idea. That they used to have poles here that can be a handrail as you come up these steps. Basically at the top of the switchbacks, I've just come up this way, and that way Yugay trail, steep and unstable. So if you look at the contour map, it's really steep here and then constantly downhill there. Anyway, so I'm just under 400 metres above sea level, and I have to get up to above 10, 20, 30. So still another 130 metres of climbing. Parks Ranger, looking at something. Woolly ragwort. Well, it might have been weeds, but it's not. It's a threatened species. And flower in the spring. So, flowering now. See that the serrated edges in the leaves. Apparently that and the fluffy underside gets some retained water so they can go in hardy places. Yeah, at the rock. I'm now on the south side of the rock, so got some shade from that beastie sun up there. A little steep bit. Down on the sort of flatter level, there's lots of diggings, reminiscent of old gold mining activity, but I couldn't find any reference to it when I stopped for my drink and looked it up. Oop, didn't quite get up that step. But I did find a reference to quarrying on the description of the lichen in the area. So I assume those rocks that are made now into steps are sort of symbols, I guess, of the quarrying that's gone on here in the past. Here's the first marker I've seen. I don't know if you can see that up ahead. When I get closer, I'll show you. A little yellow square with a black arrow pointing up. Up, up, up. There we go. The first marker. I think I'll go to the left. We are here. 490 metres above sea level. 40 metres of climbing. A panorama of the view to the south. And there's the range that the rock forms part of. It's probably the western end. The ridge of rocks along the spine of the range. I've now got sweat dripping into my eyes, so maybe it's time for a John McEnroe Pat Cash headband. Oh. I think I'm at the top. There's the tower of the rock. A couple of people coming up behind me. So I'll turn the camera off. I'm going to sit here, admire the view. Gee, look at the mozzies around the waffle. You probably can't see that. You might see them to here. Anyway, admire the view, have a drink, and eat some trail mix. Yummy snack tub, which I just bought from the Foodlands. Foodland in the Rock. Dried apricots, dried cranberries, dried sultanas, macadamias, cashews, almonds. Yep, two minutes. Cooking seed. Can I zoom? Because there's a huge goods train coming down there. Okay, how do I zoom? Well, I'll zoom digitally. But really, really long goods train travelling on the Melbourne to Sydney railway. You might hear it. Heading down now, back to that spot where you see the spine on the range, but this is interesting for me. Don't want to get too close to the edge. It's a very, very, very big drop. Straight down. Not good with heights. So I've just come down from up there. So this is that spine of rock on the top of the range. I think I was filming earlier. Signs. So there is other signs. 10 centimetre, 5 centimetre, 20 centimetre thickness. Then up to 50. I don't have to read about the geology. 6 kilometres if I return around on the Yerong track, and 2.1 kilometres this way. And we're dropping from 390 metres down to 230, so 160 metres. And 2.1 k's versus 2.3. No, I'm going to try the Yugay. I'm going up. That's not good. We don't want to go up. I want to go down. No, well. So, covered a couple of 100 metres since I turned off to the Yugay trail, and I said it's 160 metres over 2.1 kilometres, which is about 7%. I think I said 10. I like to exaggerate, but in this first couple of 100 metres, I reckon I've climbed another 40. I've got to get to up there, so I reckon it's probably 200 metres of negative vertical over about the last 1.7. So this could be good. This could be really bad. Alright. I think I'm at the high point, or about the high point. So that's good. Hopefully all downhill from here, but that's basically where I've come from. Nearly got lost then, but then saw an arrow up here. Come to the right, not left. Left looks like an easier path. So this is what we're going to the right. Oh gosh, that's steep. There you go. Township of the Rock, formerly Kingston, probably named after the King family who owned the King's Own pub. Get to know that. It's the Rock. It's the ridge. It's the west side, sort of southwest side. And that's the Rock Hill. Beautiful. Alright, it's getting a bit steep now, so I'm just going to put the camera away for a little while, back in the backpack, so I can use two hands. Okay, just 10 metres off the Yugay track is the towers, which is where I am now. I thought it said 100 metres and I went, I'm not going to walk 100 metres, I'm too tired. But it's only 10 metres. And this is the towers. So imagine this in a heavy rainfall. Gosh. Oh. Magnificent. Where are the rock climbers? Get up that bit. If you overhang at the top, you guys can do it. This is what I meant when I said there was diggings on the lower part of the rock hill that made me think, I wonder if there was gold mining going on, but it seems just been quarrying, so this is an example of that. Just north of the rock we come to the village of Uranquinty, where from 1941 to 58 over 2,000 pilots and Air Force personnel were trained. The Uranquinty water tank art was painted by artist Damien Mitchell in February 2023. The mural depicts Australian Wirraway aircraft, Aboriginal fighter pilot Len Waters. Len Waters was Australia's first and only known Indigenous fighter pilot during World War II. The local barracks used during World War II, and female mechanics working on an engine. The Wirraway, an Aboriginal word meaning challenge, became Australia's primary trainer aircraft between 1939 and 1946. So all sorts of issues with my GoPro, so I'm filming this on my phone. But this is the site of Australia's Army's worst accident. Tragedy so grim and gruesome it tore open the heart of our country. On the 21st of May 1945, in a single blinding flash of jelly night, 26 young lives were snuffed out in an underground bunker. This is the memorial to it. There's boards have got the sort of history of Kapooka, which is where this is, just south of Wagga, and the trees behind them, there's 26 trees for each of the young soldiers who died in that tragedy. The other thing we've got here is the site of the accident. It's actually over in this field, just a normal farm field, but just in the line behind that gate. So here's the beginnings of Kapooka Army Camp. It still operates today. As I'm shooting this, you might hear some gunfire in the background. It's obviously training going on at the nearby training camp. There you go, shots. Nice interesting things like the photo of these women, the AWAS Anti-Aircraft Searchlight Training Regiment. And here we've got a photo of training in bridge building across the river. So they're practicing on the Murrumbidgee, but I assume that's for training for Southeast Asian rivers. Life at Kapooka. So a normal day in training is a bit like a school day. Get up, have breakfast, get yourself ready, have your morning training, have lunch and a bit of an afternoon parade, then your afternoon training, evening meal, then you're off to bed. This one will be really hard to read, but what it says is Kapooka Military Area Historical Marker. Near this site on 21st of May 1945, the 26 engineers whose names are listed below were killed in a training accident. Lest we forget. As I said, around here there's these 26 trees, all with their name and army ID and age of those who died. And of the 26, I've counted that 10 were just 18 years old. Here's details on the explosion, with a photo of the dugout and demolition area before and after the explosion. This is interesting. New recruits. Loudspeakers call for doctors, ambulance attendants and truck drivers, but new recruits will want to stay away from the area, and soldiers who had returned from the Middle East or New Guinea were asked to attend. I assume they're used to seeing that sort of carnage and mentally might have coped a bit better. And here's the last one about Wagga, paying respects. And we've got the bodies on the flatbed trucks as I go down Edward Street in Wagga, and then the actual burial itself, where only relatives and army personnel were cremated. There's a plaque erected in 1955 on the anniversary of tragedy, the first of the now annual memorial services held. This was attended by the sole survivor, Alan Bartlett, and proved to be an emotional time for him. Oh my God, wouldn't that have been? Anyway, it's really moving and really worthwhile dropping in, having a look.
I'm not heading for the stars, driving down the boulevard at night, playing Coldplay on repeat, watching people on the street as I go by.